Valentine's Day is coming up. Can you think of a better combination for Valentine's Day than chocolate and strawberries? Me either. Let's do some chocolate-covered strawberries. And we're going to, well, take them to that next level. But first thing we got to do is talk about the strawberries. Strawberries. I got some beautiful strawberries here. I pulled them out of the refrigerator about an hour ago. Why? Because I want them to be closer to room temperature. I don't want them to be super cold, because what will happen is once they're coated in chocolate, they're going to sweat and the chocolate won't adhere. We don't want that. Let's talk chocolate. Get the good stuff. Take a look at the ingredients list, and if it has all kinds of chemicals you cannot pronounce, you don't want it in here. I also stay away from milk chocolate, because that dairy is also going to affect how these stick to that. A little sugar is fine. So what I would recommend is go for about 48% cocoa. That's what I got. 41, you're getting to the point where it may not be all that good. So let's talk about also a couple things you need. Strawberries, chocolate, of course. You also need a place for them to go. I like my sheet pan here with a non-stick mat. It'll be nice. It'll help things out. So let's get these melting. You can use a double boiler. That'll work. But since, again, I'm using a glass bowl, glass doesn't transfer heat very well. It can overheat. I'm just going to use the microwave. Very simple. 10-second increments. Okay? 10-second increments. And the key part of these 10-second increments is very simple. You've got to stir these between each 10-second increment. You've got to stir these because you want to make sure that the heat is evenly distributed. You don't want to burn this chocolate, because burnt chocolate is pretty much toast. The other thing is you don't want to lose temper. Temper is kind of, think of chocolate as an emulsion, much like a hollandaise sauce or a mayonnaise. If you overcook them, the fat in the chocolate is going to separate out, and what you'll end up getting is little fat blooms on your strawberries. So go slow, 10-second increments, stir between each increment. I'm going to get started. Yes, even though it doesn't look like nothing's happened, give it a stir. So I'm almost melted. I want to let the residual heat melt it the rest of the way. If I have to microwave it, and again, maybe only 5 seconds. Okay, my chocolate's melted. I got the dark chocolate. I also did some white chocolate, and you'll see why. I was going to use it to decorate the strawberries. It'll look good. I've also thought of something else for decorating the strawberries. Hold on. Macadamia nuts. I'm just going to crush them up just a little bit. Well, I'm going to crush them up pretty fine. So now the easy part. Now, I'm going to do this a little bit different. A lot of people will just dip. What I'm going to decorate them with. But it's a little chilly in here. So I want to be able, well, I want the nuts to adhere. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make them one or two at a time. Okay? And if my chocolate gets a little too cold, warm it up again. So let's get to dipping. Give it a little bit of a swirl. Make sure you got a nice coat. And then put it down on the silicone mat. And again, like I said, I'm just going to do two at a time. Get this so that it's running in a stream. And then give that a drizzle over top. Then, some of my macadamia nuts. on top. Okay, I've got a dozen beautiful strawberries here. Now comes the hard part. We have to let them set. It'll take a few minutes. Don't be tempted to throw them in the refrigerator, because if you got a room that is fairly chilled, you're not baking off a bunch of stuff and it'll set on there. These guys are already starting to set, the first ones I did. So we'll come back once they're set, and then we'll talk about some of the pitfalls. Okay, some of the things you have to watch out for. One, you don't want to burn your chocolate. You really got to be careful with that. That's why you want to go slow when it comes to melting your chocolate. Two, you also have to watch out for water. Water and melted chocolate do not go very well together. As a matter of fact, your chocolate will seize up and it won't be pretty. The other thing, go slow when you melt your chocolate, because if you go fast, that's going to lead you to nothing but heartache and you'll burn your chocolate. Okay, I'm Chef Terry. Happy Valentine's Day.